Welcome to today's demo, where we will be connecting content management to ITSM and Agile development using Sharepoint, Salesforce, and Atlassian JIRA. The benefits of connecting your lifecycle is you allow your teams to conduct the work in their tool of choice. You allow content management space to be integrated in the rest of your software development lifecycle. You give the right information to the right people at the right time, and have a thorough visibility and traceability throughout the development process. So here's what the demo will be. We have Microsoft SharePoint, Salesforce, and Atlassian JIRA. In SharePoint, a change request will be created. That will show up in Salesforce as a case. They will decide in Salesforce whether that case is a bug or feature request. In the demo, it'll be a bug, which will then get sent to Atlassian and JIRA as a defect. In JIRA, you can see the status information flowing back up through Salesforce and SharePoint, and we'll also create this as a duplicate. That information will also be transmitted up into Salesforce. Additionally, you can do the same thing, except instead of creating it as a bug, you can create it as a feature request, and all the same features will apply. Now, on to the demo. Here we have Microsoft SharePoint, Salesforce, and Atlassian JIRA. In SharePoint, we can see the list of requests submitted within SharePoint. We're going to create a new item, and at this point we're not sure if it's a bug or a feature. So website is not accessible from outside internal firewall. We'll save that in SharePoint, and it's not yet been deemed a bug or a feature at this point. So now we're going to approve this for work. And that will send the information to Salesforce. So now here we are in Salesforce. And you can see that now it's at Service Desk team for triage. The website is not accessible from outside the internal firewall. You can also see now that we have submitted, there's a link to the Salesforce case. So there's bidirectional traceability between the artifacts in each tool. So now in Salesforce Service Cloud, we're going to deem this a bug. And what that will do is now that we've deemed this a bug, it will transfer to Atlassian JIRA as a defect. We could have deemed it a feature, in which case it would have flowed to JIRA as a story. But in this case, it's being sent as a bug. And so now that it's been sent, you can see that there's a status to do, and that comes from JIRA, and there's also a link to the JIRA issue. So again, there's traceability from Salesforce up to SharePoint and down to JIRA. You'll also notice the development status flows all the way from JIRA to Salesforce and then up to SharePoint. Now here we are in JIRA, and you can see we'll refresh, and you can see that map 231 website is not accessible from outside the firewall is now showing up. We can assign it a release version and then move it to a sprint to work on. Now we'll put this to in progress, and we'll kick off the development work. And you'll see that the status now flows back up to Salesforce. So whereas before it was in to do, it is now showing up as in progress. You'll also see that the release is noted up as well. So you can see that this has been, it's in the July 2017 release. And coming back up to SharePoint, you can see that the status is in progress and the release has been updated as well to show July 2017. Additionally, we can show that we realize this issue is actually a duplicate. So we need to indicate it as such. And so in JIRA, we can come in and say that this actually duplicates another issue, and that actually is, since it's a duplicate issue, it's already been fixed, we can move it to the done status. And this information will propagate up the chain as well, so that in Salesforce, you can see that it will show up as a duplicate case, and the status will be updated as well. So you can see now that the development status is done and the resolution date is shown, as well as the duplicate case. And coming back to SharePoint, the same holds true. You can see that the development status of this issue is done. And for more information, please visit us at www.tasktop.com.